Hi everyone, it's Karen the Geordie Grandma. Welcome back to my channel, and today I've got a 7 eBay sales video for you. So that's 7 sales I've had in the last week on eBay. I try and pick some things I think you'll find interesting, maybe things that you can pick up yourself. So let's get started. The first one is this Baby Bjorn baby carrier. So it's obviously a baby carrier. If you don't want to use the buggy, you can put the carrier on, stick the baby in it, and you're good to go. My daughter actually had one of these for her children, and they're really handy. And they're quite good for your back, the way the straps are built. So I always pick these up when I see them. You can get other makes, but the Baby Bjorn ones are the most popular. These are quite expensive to buy new. I think they're about 60 quid. So when I see them, especially boxed, I pick them up. I got this for £5. It sold quite quickly within a couple of weeks for £25, as you can see. So the profit on this was £15.31. I've been to the auction again and I picked up a couple of boxes of lamps. I'd been to have a look around before the auction started, and I saw this box with a couple of ceiling lights in that look quite Art Deco, and I thought, well, they're really nice. I'm sure they'd sell quite well if I can get the boxes cheap enough. And I bid on it, and I won the boxes for £18.43, including commission. Now, I hadn't realised there was so many lamps in the boxes when I got them home. There was about maybe 12 or 13 lamps in. I did throw a couple of them away because they were broken, or I just didn't think they were worth it. So there was 2 I threw away. There was also a nice couple of tiled pictures in there that I thought were really nice. I've got those on, and something else that I've also sold that I'll show you during this video. But this was one of the lamps that went straight away. This went the same day I listed it, which I say this every time. It makes you think, could I have gotten a little bit more for it? Possibly I could. This is a vintage Mayfair pottery Staffordshire table lamp base. So it's the one with the fruit design. Now, if you have a look on eBay at Staffordshire fruit design, you'll see lots of different things with that design on. So you can get like vases, you can get plates, you can get, I think there's teapots, but I couldn't see any lamps. So I thought I'd put it on for £20. Thinking, oh, maybe it won't sell, and it, like I said, it sold it sold the same day that I put it on. So I possibly could have got a bit more for it. It was a pretty lamp if you're into that kind of thing. It didn't have a shade with it. The ones that did have shades, most of them I just took off and threw away because they were a bit naff. But the base on this was quite pretty. It's quite a big lamp. So obviously it was a popular choice. I got £20 for that, got the full asking price. So I split the 10 things that I actually did put onto eBay from those boxes. If I divide those by 10, that was £1.84 per item. So the profit after fees was £14.21 on that. So I was really chuffed, because once again, Warren was saying I wouldn't have picked up these lamps. So when things sell from boxes that he says that about, I'll just say, you are wrong. And he was wrong about this one. So that was the lamp. Next was also from this auction box with the lamps in, and this is it's called a shadow box, and it had nautical knots and a ship in there. It was like a plaque. It had a little hook on the back, so you could hang it up. Obviously, nautical things are quite popular on eBay. I did have a bit of research, and I found 1 or 2 other plaques like this. They were maybe slightly different, the knots, and there was one that had another couple of pictures with it, so they were a little bit more pricey. So I priced this at £20. Again, I wasn't really sure. I just thought, well, I'll try £20, and I did get an offer for this within a week of me listing it for £17, so I decided to take it. I'd already made most of the profit back on the green lamp for this whole auction lot, so I thought, well, I'll just take the offer. So I took the offer of £17. So after fees, that was a profit of £11.35. Next is something that wasn't in the auction box, and this I got from a car boot sale. I've had it quite a few months. maybe more of a winter thing. People want to start frying things during the winter and not so much in the summer. Possibly, I'm not sure. It was in really good condition. It was in the box. The box is in good condition. It had the manual in there. I plugged it in and switched it on. I didn't actually fry anything in it to test it. I thought, well, if I plug it in, switch it on, it's probably working. It was a 3.2 litre hot air fryer. You can fry chips, fish, meat, vegetables, as you can see I've put in the title. And this eventually went, I paid £10 for it, and the profit after fees on that was £21.56. It did have quite a few watchers on it all the time it was listed. It just took a while to sell, so I'm not exactly sure if I'd pick that up again. Next was something else from the auction box, and this is a vintage. They were all vintage, these lamps, and it looks like an oil lamp, but it's actually electric. You can plug it in. The glass shade had a few scratches on it, which I did obviously put in the condition. I wasn't sure whether to list this at all. I hummed and hawed about it. I thought, will I just chuck it in the bin? Will I give it to the charity shop? Wasn't really sure what to do with it. It's quite light. It's not like a heavy brass base or anything. So I thought, well, I'll put it on. I'll put it on for £5 and see what happens. And this actually sold within 2 or 3 days as well. So once again, maybe I could have got more for it. But was I happy with the £5? I don't know. The profit I made on that was only £2.15. So what do you think? Would you have put that on? Would you be happy to make just a £2 profit? It's still profit. It's still £2 in my pocket. So I don't know, the time it takes to photograph and edit and list, maybe it wasn't worth it. I'd love to know what you would have done. Would you have thrown it away? Would you have given it to a charity shop? Or would you have listed it as well? The next 2 items are both items of clothing, and this was a Marks and Spencer's dress. I picked this up in a Marks and Spencer's sale, so it was new with tags. I never really have very much luck with new stuff that I buy with tags. You know, if shops having sales on, I never have a lot of luck. It seems to take forever to sell. I'm not sure what it was with this dress. To me, it's quite an ugly dress actually. It was like a rose gold colour, so the picture didn't quite show the colour true as it was. It's more of a lighter rose gold colour, and those birds are hideous. I think people of my age maybe had grandparents who wouldn't have birds in the house. It was unlucky. They wouldn't have pictures of birds in the house, so maybe they wouldn't have had dresses with birds on either. I don't know why it took so long to sell. It wasn't a popular choice. But anyway, the lady that bought it, she wanted me to send it out first class the next day, Royal Mail, because she was going to wear it to a wedding that week. So I was a little bit worried that she was going to get it and then decide, well, it doesn't fit, she didn't like it, and send it back. But no, she sent me a message the next day when she received it to say she absolutely loved it and she was looking forward to wearing it. So that was good. So I paid £4.80 for that in the Marks's sale, and the profit after fees was £14.36. So a really good profit, but it did take a long time to sell. And last but not least on my 7 eBay sales is this Gerry Weber ladies suit. Now this I've had, God, I must have had this over a year, and it was an absolute bugger to photograph. If you have a look, see if you can see it there. It's like a pin dot kind of print. It just was terrible to photograph. I hate photographing black anyway, but when it's got like a very small check or a dot in it, it's even worse to get the colour and the print exactly right. So maybe that's why I've had it a while. I did actually re-photograph it, and that obviously did the trick because it did sell not long after I did the photographs again. I also hate photographing trousers. They never look right. These ones don't look too bad, but when I photograph trousers, they always look really short and kind of stumpy looking. So I need to figure out a different way to photograph trousers. But this one, I paid £5 for this in a charity shop, and it did sell for the full price of £25. So after fees, that was a profit of £16.16, which again, really good profit, just took a long time to sell. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you've had a good week selling on eBay yourself, and if you don't sell on eBay already, maybe you're thinking about it. I hope some of these things may have piqued your interest and you want to go out and pick up stuff for yourself. Whichever the case, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.